If you are looking to save money but still eat really healthy, if you're gluten-free and dairy-free, or if you're just trying to eat more whole, real foods for your health, then this is the video for you. This week was $100.10. I just wanted to show you how easy it can be to eat healthy. Okay, so today we're getting into my little weekly pickup from Aldi, and this was a grocery haul that was, I got mostly organic, I got some great ingredients and all of that, and the total this week was $100.10 just at Aldi for a big majority of what we're gonna be eating this week. There were certain things I didn't have to buy because I already had it, so I already had a triple pack of ground beef, so I didn't have to get that this week. But there were things this week at Aldi that were cheaper than Costco, so I figured I would go there. I just wanted to show you how easy it can be to eat healthy, and that's up to you to determine what that looks like for your family. But this is what I got this week at Aldi. I'm gonna start with the frozen. So I got 2 bags of their organic cut grain beans, and we actually really like these. And at Costco, that's another store that I go to often, they have a giant bag, and it is, I want to say about $9 or so, but it's the French green beans. These are the cut green beans. They just cook faster, and when you're in a crunch, these go really well in things like soups and stuff like that too. I'm not even sure what we're gonna do with it, but I like to pick up some green things that are organic from the freezer section. So I picked up these 2 this week. I'll put the price on the screen for that. I also picked up 4 packs of their organic chicken breasts, and I'm only showing 2 because I used 2 last night for a meal prep, but these were $6.69 for this pack and $6.44 for this pack. We're a family of 3, but we always cook with leftovers in mind so that my husband can take that to work the next day for lunch. So this was $4.99 a pound at Aldi, and Costco has had them for $5.99 a pound. I usually get the triple pack, but this time I just got 4 packs of the one from Aldi. Such a great deal, such a great price on that. And my little tip for buying things like chicken breasts, I prefer bone and skin on anything that I get because you're getting more nutrients, you're getting healthy fats, you're getting things like collagen from the skin and from the bones. But this just cooks up really, really quickly for things like chicken salad, for things like chicken pot pie, to put in a stir fry. So this is just such a great option to get. You'll also see things like thinly sliced chicken breasts and things like that. Those are typically $1 more per pound, and you're not getting any more meat. So I always tell people, try to get the cheapest, best quality that you can get and prep those things yourself, because you're gonna save so much more money if you do it that way. The other thing that we love to get, you might be wondering, or maybe you're not, why I got organic and pasture raised. So for 2 reasons. I was trying to stay at a specific budget this week, and not only that, I'm going to use this for things like baking, and then I'm going to use this, I love the flavor and the taste and the nutrition that comes with pasture raised eggs. So I just got 2 of these because I just really like the flavor of it, the pasture raised eggs a lot better. This is what I saw that I've never seen there before. I was really excited to see this. We don't drink soda, like maybe once in a blue. It's just sugar is something that we like to watch in our family, and I also like to watch ingredients. These have such great ingredients. I'll put the price or picture on the screen. And this is a prebiotic soda. So prebiotics are what feed our good gut bacteria, and this is one of the things that you're going to see is inulin, which is something that they like to eat. They like plant fibers and things like that. We actually don't digest things called insoluble fiber. Our body cannot break that down, but our good gut bacteria needs it to live and thrive, and it also needs it to continue to do what it does for us, which is to help us digest our food. But not just that, it helps us to do so many other things like create serotonin. Anyways, I can do an entire video on that, but this actually has prebiotic in it, and you'll see things like inulin. That's something that our good gut bacteria likes to eat. We want to keep us healthy, keep them healthy, and then they help us do that, right? So this was a prebiotic soda, and this is cherry limeade. I'm a big fan of like cherry things and sodas, and like ginger ale and Sprite, that kind of thing, but without actually drinking those sodas because they just don't work for me. And then I picked up a root beer, which is the prebiotic root beer for my husband. I'll put all the ingredients on the screen because I'm big on reading ingredients. Do what works best for you. I'm definitely not telling you what to eat or drink, but I am sharing just some great alternatives. If you're someone who really likes a soda, you know, make it a treat, make it a once a week thing, so you're cutting out a bunch of sugar and a bunch of additives if you're not drinking something that is, you know, naturally flavored or naturally sweetened. I look for things like monk fruit or for stevia. You may pronounce it stevia, but I like to look for those because they're lower in sugar, and they're also something that we don't want to have a ton of, especially when we're combining it with something like carbonation. Okay, the next thing that I got, I am going to go, my hands are all wet. I'm gonna go into some more of our produce. I got shredded lettuce. That is great for tacos or mixing in salads. They're organic chopped kale. I love to get this and to put it in soups and things like that because it's a thicker, more fibrous. This is also going to feed your good gut bacteria, but it has more fiber in it, and since it's like that, it works really well in things like soup that are going to cook for a while. If you're going to put this in, I like to put this in soup in my Instant Pot. Sometimes I like to destem it and just saute it and have it as a side with whatever we're eating. So that is our organic kale. And then I picked up 2 bags of their coleslaw. This is like a staple for us because I'll make tacos or I'll make a stir fry, and then this is just something, when you're trying to eat healthy, it makes it so much more tedious if you're constantly having to pull things out and chop them. If you're constantly, that's when we're like, oh, you know, heck with it, I'll just pick up something from somewhere because I don't feel like all the hassle. So I like to get things that are already done, already washed, if they're a good price. If not, I will chop it all in one day and put it up, have it washed, so when I'm ready to cook, it's ready to go. But this is organic chopped kale. It's already cleaned, it's triple washed. All of these things that I'm showing you, they've been cleaned already, so you don't have to worry about that. And then I just love sweet butter lettuce. I try, you know, the big bin of salad mix, I try, but it's just not my jam. I prefer like butter lettuces and stuff like that. I don't care for those. I wish they sold this big one in like the organic, like clamshell packs, the really big ones, but they don't. I love having just a salad once in a blue with a bunch of stuff in it, like apples and fruit and nuts and seeds. So I'll actually mix the 3 of these together sometimes, and sometimes I'll even throw in a little kale if I've massaged it with some oil to break it down a little bit. The next thing that I got was some organic zucchini. Let me tell you, my family does not like zucchini, right? But they eat it all the time. Sometimes they just don't know. So I love to put this in soups because it cooks down really well. I love to saute this and just put this like in ground beef. I love to sneak this into, I'm like looking like if my son's gonna come around the corner. I also love to chop this up and put it in my son's pasta that I like to make him with the chickpea pasta that I also get from Aldi and their sauce. And you're getting in vegetables without even knowing it. I also make zucchini bread around this time of year, so I'll probably make that soon. But this was $1. I want to say it was $1.99 for the zucchini. I'll put the price on the screen. It was $3.25 for this pack of zucchini, so it was about $1 each. I also picked up some of my favorite, which were the pink lady apples. We have already eaten 3 of these. I bought this last night, yesterday, so we've already eaten 3. So it's actually a bigger bag than what it appears. But there are several still in here, and that was under $5 for that. Again, I've already taken an onion out of there that I used last night. So I picked up some white onions. That just goes well with pretty much anything. And then I was so excited to see these. These are the Muscadine. These are the black Muscadines. So great. Packed with antioxidants. They do have a seed, but these come around just once a year and they're in season. I was so excited to get these because they're so amazing for you. And you can eat like 4 or 5 of these and a handful of nuts and you have such a great snack. And it kind of satisfies that sweet tooth too because it has a little bit of a tart. It has a firmer skin. They're just really delicious. They also had the green ones, but these are my favorite, and these are higher in antioxidants, so that's why I picked up these. They were also a great price. Picked up some organic red seedless grapes too, and this was, I want to say it was like $4.65. I'll put that on the screen as well. For this giant container of grapes, I have not found anyone who has better prices when it comes to organic grapes in Aldi. I go to Costco, I go to Sprouts, I go to the Fresh Market, I go to a lot of different stores, and that is the best price that I've found in my area for grapes. Next up, this is like all the fun stuff that I like to use for salads and for chicken salad and to make snacks, and I make our own trail mix every single week, and I like to get nuts and seeds and mix them up myself because a lot of the bags of trail mix have just not great ingredients whatsoever. They have so many things added to them you do not need, and they're just not necessary. And then you can control the mixture that you get. So I don't know about you, but when I get one of those bags of trail mix, I don't want a bunch of peanuts in it. You know, there's usually a nut or seed. Peanuts are technically a legume anyways, but there's typically something in it that I don't necessarily love. I prefer to kind of mix that up myself. And Aldi has such great prices on just getting some a la carte mixed nuts and seeds. One of the things that I love to do is I like to go into the baking section to get some of these because they're cheaper, and a lot of times they'll sell the ones that are already chopped or slivered or things like that at a cheaper price. So things like chopped pecans are cheaper than getting pecan halves, and I like to go ahead and get this. And this is usually about, well, it says it on the front, it's 2 cups of pecans. So this will actually last. This works for me making recipes. This will work for several different things, and that's what I like to do. I like to get things that are going to be used in different ways so that you get the most bang for your buck. So I love putting this in salads. I put it in our chicken salad last night. I like to make the trail mix. I also like to make that gluten-free, paleo, grain-free, pumpkin spice cake. I'll link it somewhere. And I use pecans for that, or walnuts for that. I just went ahead and got some of their shelled pistachios. I prefer the one in the shell, but since I'm gonna make my family a trail mix by mixing these together, I want them to be already shelled. The only ingredients are California shelled pistachios and sea salt. Simple ingredients, only ingredients in here, pecans. Next up, I picked up some walnuts. I also put this in our chicken salad last night. The ingredients, chopped walnuts. Next up, these are kind of my little naughty treat because they have sugar. They do have added sugar, and they do have sunflower oil. So I love to take just a couple of these and mix it in with some cashews or with the pistachios just to add that little tart bite. And since you're balancing that sugar with a healthy fat and with a little bit of protein, it doesn't really spike our insulin as much. So I'm always looking for ways to still have what I like, right? Once in a while. And then the things that I'm having more often, I like to just have smaller amounts of the things that aren't, you know, the ingredients that I would love for them to have, but for the price, I say go for it. So these are the Montgomery dried cherries. This is like one of my favorite dried fruits, which is going to be cherries. I also like apricots a lot. And then I did the same thing with the cranberries. I picked up some of these because these were cheaper than the cherries, and you're going to get that same kind of bite as far as the tart and the sweet. This also does have sugar and sunflower oil. So I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm never eating a seed oil. Trust me, I try my best to make the best decisions that I possibly can for my health and my family's health. But at the same time, I'm not trying to go crazy over it. I think that it's really important that we get balanced when we're starting to approach our food and for our wellness, because if not, we're just causing stress, which is also not great for our health, right? So do the best that you can with your budget, with the goals that you have in mind, and with the things that you have access to. And the more you're eating real whole food ingredients, the more your body is getting the things that it actually needs, as opposed to getting, 80% packaged things that are highly processed and just 20% that are kind of good eating a salad once in a while. It's what we're doing most often. These little things that we're doing most often that really add up to our health and our wellness and really supporting that. And I also picked up some raisins. These are just a little individual boxes. I find when I get that big canister, I have to like dig through them because they get so stuck together. So that's probably a better price to get that large canister, but I like to just get these, open up a couple of boxes, toss it in our trail mix, and we're good to go. Next up, my absolute favorite salsa. I think that they have such a great salsa. This does have a little bit of sugar in it, but the ingredients are just so great. And they're all things that you would if you made salsa right now from scratch, you would put in your salsa. It doesn't have a bunch of weird, crazy ingredients, nor does it have like weird preservatives. And this is their organic, gluten-free salsa. Great price on that too. I picked up quinoa. I love their quinoa. Their quinoa is actually my favorite. We do buy it like a really big bag from Costco, which is way better as far as the price. But the flavor of this one, I don't know why, but the way that this cooks and the light and fluffiness, this is just my favorite quinoa. And theirs is, I want to say this was about $3 for the small bag, but we'll actually get several meals out of this. One small bag like this can last us for about 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks depending. But I love to use this in place of rice for stir fry. I like to cook a big batch of it and then I'll toss it in things like soup to add a little bit more protein, or I'll toss it in a salad. If you like couscous, you would probably like quinoa. I actually prefer quinoa to that. And this is gluten-free. And the only difference with the one from Aldi and the one from Costco is you do have to rinse this one. So that is the only thing that I don't love about this, but I'm not mad at it. I mean, I'm just rinsing it under a colander. It's no big deal, and it's really, really delicious. It cooks perfectly every single time. And this I picked up because I have been experimenting with my own gluten-free bread recipe, and I've had some fails, but I won't share that until I get that right. My voice is cracking. I won't share that until I get that right. But I picked up their specialty selected premium strawberry fruit spread because I like to slice a piece of bread, toast it, put a little bit of coconut oil on it, and then slather a little bit of this. I actually eat that as like a dessert, and I want something sweet, but I don't want it to be so sweet that it's not really benefiting me. I size things up when I'm going to the grocery store. I read the ingredients, I get the things that make the most sense for us, for our budget, for our health goals, but at the same time, I'm not like super, I have my non-negotiables, and then there's other areas where I kind of just allow things to be in balance. If I'm eating mostly healthy, mostly clean food, which I would encourage you, it's okay, unless you have a really bad reaction to something. It's okay to kind of mix in things that you love and combine it with things that are healthier, so that you don't feel like you're missing out, you know. And it's not about not missing out necessarily, but it is about living in a way that's more balanced and not these extremes. And you can be extreme and you can be unhealthy, you know, eating all the healthy things. You know, we can cause gut dysfunction by being super stressed out as well. So I look at things holistically, and as a holistic nutritionist, that is why. But I love going to places like Aldi, and I love sharing these as just a point of inspiration, as a point of figuring out what the heck to feed your family this week. I get it, I'm right there with you. And just getting into a groove that makes sense for you with your wellness and your health goals. If you're someone who is looking to work with someone, I love working with people on their wellness and helping them. You can click the link in the description. I do have a one-on-one practice where I take individual clients on. If you're interested in help in your wellness, I am here to help you steward that. But I'm also serving up all this free content so that you can be as healthy as you aim to be, and I hope that I can play a part in that and encouraging you to really steward your wellness. Until next time, your life matters, what you do with it matters. So what will you steward well? Peace.